I've got to tell you, hero, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. The relationship between me and your driver is, shall we say, a little rocky.
Whose fault is that? The way I see it, you've been putting yourself first this whole time. If we are where you say we are, it's on you.
Fault isn't the question here. What to do is. Normally, a driver gives me trouble, I just let him go. But your friend's a little too popular for that. So here's the plan. One race, one-on-one, for the whole shooting match. And if I lose, I'll leave. If I win...
You know what? You're on.
Three, two, one.
I'm gonna be picking you out of my tire treads. Passing you was so easy, I could do it in my sleep. I gotta hand it to you. You're hanging tough. Just a few more miles and then you're gone. What the hell just happened?
There was a deal, Wade. You lose, you vamoose. Time to hold up your end of the bargain.
No way. Not happening. And what deal? Anyone hear anything about a deal?
I heard you. Kind of a lot of us did.
Shut up, you. You didn't hear nothing.
Don't try and skip out on it, Wade. All these folks heard you agree to it. Now, Are you gonna do the honorable thing?
You know what? You're right. I'm gone. But don't think you've heard the last of me. There's still plenty of road out there. I've got to tell you.
Well, that just leaves one piece of business. You beat Wade and got enough points, but you got him beating Wade. You really want to be champion here? You have to go through me.
Come on, Tuck, we've got nothing against you.
And I've got nothing against you. But someone's got to be the champion. So, we do one more race, head-to-head, to see who really owns the off-road. Whenever you're ready, of course.
Three, two, one.
We're gonna see who the real champion is. I'm guessing Wade didn't teach you that move. Try and come back from this. Let's see if this'll throw you. I guess you weren't quite ready to go all the way to the top.
What the hell just happened?
There was a deal, Wade. You lose, you vamoose. Time to hold up your end of the...
3, 2, 1.
We're gonna see who the real champion is. guessing Wade didn't teach you that move. Well, you sure as heck drive better than Wade. Try and come back from this. Nice move there, but it ain't gonna help you none. Let's see if this'll throw you. Congratulations. I gotta hand it to you, you're the champion. Plus, you got rid of Wade, a pretty full day if you ask me. But what's next? There's gonna be an awful lot of drivers looking for guidance now. Who's gonna give it to them?
Well, nobody asked me, but I could think of one good candidate right off the bat. Tuck.
Who? Me? I'm not sure I'm right for the job.
Why not? You know these folks and you know the terrain. Who'd be better?
I don't know. I guess. Hell, I'll give it my best shot, at least until someone better comes along. And don't worry, you'll still see me out there.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
See, it's not about money. And like I told you, it sure as hell isn't about getting your name out there. It's about being lucky enough that we get to do this every day. I mean, if you told me I could make a living at this, I'd have said you were crazy. But here we are. Maybe we're not making as much cash as some, but take a look around. Here, there's all kinds of ways to be rich.
in upstate New York for race number 5 in the Live Extreme Series. And boy, have we got a twist for you. We're going to show you some familiar territory in a whole new way. Once again, coming to you from New York, the city that never sleeps, and who could sleep after the excitement we just witnessed? Thank you for tuning in to the Live Extreme Series Episode 5, and we'll see you one more time for the season finale.
Quench your thirst with a refreshing smoothie.
Welcome, folks, to the grand finale of the Live Extreme Series. We're here in Northern California for the most important race of the year. This is the big one, where the top drivers in Motor Nation take on their biggest rivals to see who really reigns supreme. There you have it, folks. A new champion who came from nowhere to take it all and be crowned head of Motor Nation. We took a moment to speak to those who know our champion best to get their thoughts.
He's earned it. He's dependable and trustworthy and one heck of a pilot. And he's proved that from the ground up.
I'm down with that. Though I'd vote for more up and less ground.
I deal only with winners. And winners like to deal with me. They know the secret is hard work. And they're willing to put it in to be the best. And don't think you can pull one over on me. Our champion could, but he's one of a kind.
Him? He's a fraud. And so is any racing circuit that would call him a champion. If he really wants to race, he knows where to find me.
He's done some real good for the family. And he ain't bad at racing, either.
Can he race? Sure, but he's more than that. He's become a friend. Just look at this car if you want proof of how thoughtful and caring he is.
I've been with the champ since the beginning, when we were a couple of nobodies. But I always knew he had what it took. Skill, determination, hard work, the whole package. Now look at him. Not bad for a couple of nobodies, don't you think?
So, how does it feel to be the new champion of the Live Extreme Series and the leader of Motor Nation? Surely you must be proud of everything you've accomplished.